It has often been said by many scholars living within my house that standardized tests are the boon of education. No, not the boon, but the, hex, the curse. They're an imprecation placed on education, which is not the word boon, and I only thought of the word boon first because education has failed me because of standardized tests. I remember once when I was in the 8th grade, I was doing it for the 3rd time, and I was taking my local standardized test. It was called the Gauntlet. Now, the Gauntlet started out with a written exam. You know, you write an essay about just a random topic. For me, it was different types of spreads, and I was only in 8th grade for the 3rd time. I hadn't taken it a 4th time yet, so I didn't know much about spreads. No, I know about Marmite, peanut butter, maybe Nutella. I had Nutella once, but those were the only 3 spreads that were really inside of my brain, and those were sandwich spreads. They weren't salad spreads or dessert spreads. I hadn't even heard of icing, but I tried. I tried to wax poetic on Marmite. That was my essay topic I had chosen inside this miniature topic scenario, whatever you want to call it. But the written test was just the tip of the iceberg, because after that, the next stage of the gauntlet was arena, and I had to fight Jimmy Wilkers, who was, despite his name, his name makes him sound like he's a tiny little munchkin. No, Jimmy Wilkers was taking 8th grade for the 16th time. He's been in it for a while, so he was huge. He had thighs the size of, I don't know, really big thighs. He was a monster, almost. Well, not almost, he was a monster. He was created by a man, specifically our janitor. Our janitor was a mad scientist type. But anyway, I had to fight Jimmy Wilkers, and I did get the final blow by tricking him by saying I didn't have any weapons when I so obviously had a machine gun. So I killed him then and there, and that got me an A in the gauntlet. But I got a concussion during the gauntlet, and I had to go to the doctor, so I missed out on part 3, and that was endurance. So while all the other kids were standing on their poles trying to balance above a pool of acid, I was in sick bay, not doing anything, not learning anything. I wasn't allowed to make up the endurance test, and because of that I failed, and I had to take the 3rd 8th grade for a 2nd time. And that's just not fair. I did great in the rest of my studies. Standardized testing makes you just want to study for the test. Kids think the rest of school matters, but it doesn't. It's just this one test. And what's the point of anything then, if it's just getting you ready for the gauntlet? I don't know. I'm not a teacher, but I should be. Sign my petition. No, I'm not going to make a petition. You make a petition, and then sign it, and then maybe tweet at me. And if I see it, I'll share it. But make a petition for me to be a teacher, and let's hope the higher-ups see it, because I would change the gauntlet so that every kid has a fair chance and doesn't get stuck in sick bay during the endurance test.